So when I come to do a scene like this with this view, its movement will be like this. I did it in physics, like the ball that falls from the roof of the building and loses its strength and energy and even reduces its stillness. And just as I did, the movement of the wheel, the movement of the cart, and the movement of the planets, of course, the speed here is different. I mean, you can come to one of them and slow it down. They don't have to go to the other. There are parameters like the other ones. But basically, I have been explaining these details for an hour. Then I come back and explain 3D Max is important. Consider a 100-hour course at a specialized place or college. Get Autodesk certifications. Colleges offer 3D Max and Adobe certifications. 3D Max involves texturing and intersects with various specializations. It benefits other fields. Rendering is quick. Study it through a 100-hour course at a specialized institution or your engineering college. Obtain Autodesk certifications or similar. At an accredited center, colleges align with professional certifications for engineering students in 3D Max. Earn certifications in engineering for 3D Max, involving texturing and intersecting with various specializations. Rendering the universe's movement is quick without extra elements. It produces a video swiftly. I decline the same file. I can create a new file naming it Earth or Space, like Space SP1. A professional certification for engineering students in 3D Max. Get professional certifications in engineering college for 3D Max, as it involves texturing, 3D, and intersects with various specializations, benefiting others too. Render the universe? Yes, quickly. Rendering finishes fast, without trees or materials. It produces a video fast. I can create a new file, name it Earth or Space SP1, and request the render quickly. So rendering like this, since there are no trees or materials or anything, will just produce a video. I can say, come on, give me that video quickly. And it tells you the same file, and I say no. So I can create a new file here, create a new file, and name it something like Earth or Space. For example, Space SP1. Then I say, come on, give me that list. That's the render. The object is moving, tick, 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 but I don't know how many it finished. It's one frame, it's a bit faster than the tree, but it still takes time. So it tells you, I expect to finish in 9 minutes, man. No, less than that. But I'm not going to wait for you. Just watch the movement. I told him, come on, bring me this lace piece. It's the Randall. The render is running, but I don't know how many it has finished. It says, I expect to finish in 9 minutes. I'm not waiting, just watch the movement. Each one moves away for a year until you get the complete movement. It will look beautiful in the end, worth the wait if I have time. But I'm wrapping up. It gave me a small film. If you're rendering, show me where I stop. Turn on the logo and see how it looks. It's a small movement, but the first 5 frames are still there. Let's also consider our time. All of this, moving away for a year to complete. I will wrap up. You imagined it. It gave me a film. What's the render nature? Rendering should show where I stopped. Turn on the logo to see. Small movement. First 5 frames remain. This is crucial work. Consider time. Almost Maghrib prayer. Mention Qasim University and animated letters. Create intro. Move to animation. Important skills I feared missing. I will erase this. It's a small movement, but the first 5 frames remain. This is crucial. It could involve significant work. Let's also consider our time, as it's nearly a quarter of an hour until the Maghrib prayer, and mention Qasim University. I aim to create an intro with animated letters, then move into animation, as these were vital skills I feared missing. So I'll erase this. I recalled what led me here. The word center point under the peak introduced you, so I placed the box and dropped the ball. The ball's center point drew me in, dropping from the ceiling, leading to the planet's movement in the solar system. This is a lesson itself. Part of an animation lesson we weren't going to explain, but we got caught up. I wanted to create an intro and explore animation, key skills I feared missing. Erasing this, let's focus on the center point, which led me here. The word center under the peak introduced the box and ball. Let's write this together, okay, because of the center point. The center point of the word under the peak, I wanted to introduce you to it, so I placed the box and dropped the ball. The center point of the ball pulled me in as it dropped from the ceiling, leading us into the movement of the planets in the solar system. Let's move on. I wasn't going to explain it just because of time. In Text Plus, it's a 3-dimensional geometric shape. It's solid. Zoom in. This is solid text. I can manipulate its 3 dimensions. I can modify it. Since this is in 3D, I don't need to add an extrusion. I can work with its values and give it an extrusion to make it solid. So come on, I wasn't going to explain this. So here for the text, I have text in the SP line and I have text plus 3D. What's the difference between them? In text plus, it's a 3D shape. It's solid. This is a solid text. I can adjust it. I can change it. Since this is in 3D, I don't need to add an extrusion. I can work with its values and extrude it here. If you come here, this is normal. Parameters had an extrusion above. I can't add it now. This is a solid text. I can carefully manipulate its 3 dimensions in a very detailed manner. You see how I selected it? As you can clearly see, I can make modifications to it. Since this is in 3D, I don't need to add an extrusion. On the contrary, I can work with its values and give it an extrusion from here to make it solid in a straightforward way. Oh, if the word department was university and it was embodied in this way, then the text also has an extrude, by the way, that's right. I mean, if you came here, this is normal, so the values of its parameters used to have an extrude above. Oh, I brought it above from the beginning. This is enable and render. It doesn't make a difference here. There used to be an extrude here. I don't need to add it to it, that is. I'll keep it like this, but with 2 movements, the shape of the dimensions can be solidified, but you need to add an extrusion to it. So far, there is no extrusion in this update. Where is the extrusion? It's in text A+ because it's 3D, not 2D. Okay, when I come to work with this, I add an extrusion command that was already prepared. In 3D, I brought it and solidified it. Imagine that text plus extrusion equals text plus. So I use text plus from the beginning. I'm just trying to make sure you understand the idea. And this is the text part. How much is this extrusion? Just so I know. In 3D, I brought it and solidified it. Imagine that text plus extrusion equals text plus. So I use text plus from the beginning. I'm just trying to make sure you understand the idea. And this is the text part. How much is this extrusion? Just so I know. How much is this extrusion? Just so I know. The way parameters are used here might be different. Okay. It's all about the details. This is the speed, even the speed, but not this speed at the time. And this is the length and width. And this is the word I'm going to write here, university. Be patient with me, because there are a lot of things to cover in this section. And this is the font type and the font specifications. Okay. Set the extrude to 5 so I can understand, and go to the text and set the extrude to 5 as well. They are all the same, but in size, they are not the same. All right. Now I can divide and work. But what's pushing me to do this? It's that I'm going to put text and prepare it for extrude and increase the amount. I can swear and work now. So what's pushing me to do this? It's that I'm going to put text and prepare it for extrude and increase the amount. But why not just use text plus right away? Because that's an update in the new 3D Max that wasn't available before. So why don't I just use text plus right away? Because that's an update in the new 3D Maxi. It wasn't available before. But they included it now because most people use this for editing and titles. So they said, let's go for it. Let's delete this text and just bring in text plus. With text plus, I can rewrite what's in it, which is this writing. This writing is here. Text Blaster. I can write a division, not a division. University. For example, I can write it capital, and I can write small. I wrote capital and small on the keyboard as I pleased. I typed and wrote on the keyboard comfortably. It's as if I'm writing in Word exactly. Right? This is the text. This is the text itself. This is the word that you're supposed to move, whether at the level of letters or at the level of words. So basically, because of the time, I want to move at the level of words. Divide it, or a small word like, or at the level of the word Kasima on the letters, and leave the university. I will not play with it. What applies to 2 or 3 letters applies to the whole. So you must divide this word in order to be able to divide it. You need to be able to grab part of the points, but you can't currently grab part of the points because they added the extrude modifier for division. But they didn't add something like edit Boolean that allows you to grab the polygons in animation. But there's nothing. And this is the geometry, the shape of the extrude division. but there's no edit here for the edit boolean or edit meshes. So you're forced to add a modifier. This is basically something straightforward. The modifier I'm adding, I added parameters, geometry, animation. I can change the font type initially. I don't like this font. I can choose articulated, another font. For example, choose this font, click left. They didn't change it, just slanted, maybe before the extrude. What about bold and slant for the word? Select the text. Select it before any movement. Select it again to change the font. Choose Sultan, for example. Honestly, I can't see well. My eyesight is weak. Here, I mean Sultan bold. What's Sultan? Choose a font instead of selecting it from the beginning. I don't feel it. They didn't change it. It's slanted. I wanted to do this before the extrude. What about the bold? And what about the slant for the word? Okay, select the text. Yes, select it again. So I can change the font and choose Sultan. The letter S, the letter S, the letter S. I can't see well. But here, I mean Sultan bold. What's Sultan? Choose a font. It's working. I didn't click anywhere. There are different types of fonts in 3D Max. Kissimmee University. It looks beautiful. The most important thing is that it shouldn't be connected. The R and the E. These are the only ones that are unconnected. I can change the font and choose Sultan, the letter S. I can't see well. My eyesight is weak. I meant Sultan bold. No, I'm sorry. What Sultan? Choose a font from the start. It's working. I didn't click anywhere. There are different fonts in 3D Max that work. Kissimmee University looks beautiful and well written. Importantly, it shouldn't be connected. If it is, I don't know how to unconnect it. Yes, it's not connected like this, but unconnecting is difficult, especially R and E. Only these are unconnected. Yes, but no. Yes, but who wants an artist to focus on these points? I'm not going to unconnect University, but I can unconnect Kissim to some extent because I chose a font that doesn't connect. It's working for me. I didn't click anywhere. There are different types of fonts in 3D Max that are working. Kissimm University, honestly, it looks beautiful and well written. The most important thing is that it shouldn't be connected, because if it's connected, I don't know how to unconnect it. Yes, it's not connected like this, but unconnecting it is difficult, especially the R and the E. These are the only ones that are unconnected. Yes, but no. Yes, but who wants an artist to pay attention to these points and leave these points for him? I mean, I'm not going to unconnect University, but I can unconnect Kissimm to some extent because I chose a font that doesn't connect. Yeah, but yeah. But who wants an artist to pay attention to these points and leave these points for him? I mean, I'm not going to unconnect University, but I can unconnect Kissimm to some extent because I chose a font that doesn't connect.